Yeah, quite a major project going on in that neighborhood, and so many things going on there between the 1803 Fund, Albina Vision Trust. There is a lot happening over there when it comes to the African American community in Portland.
Yeah, and looking forward to seeing the progress as we move forward in the years to come, like those visions becoming a reality for sure. We'll continue to follow that as we bring in Josh and talk about weather. We mentioned earlier it's colder, it's been dry, but we all know that's going to change at some point. It's December.
Yes, it is December, typically a very wet month for us, but you know, these dry days have really allowed for crews to get the upper hand on many of the leaves that still linger across our area. So some of the street sweepers were out and about earlier today in downtown Portland, cleaning up those leaves as they remain dry, because that will not be the case starting as early as tomorrow morning and carrying us through about the next week or so. Now is your time and your opportunity to make sure that a lot of those storm drains are clear of any of those leaves, not only because of the kind of slick and sludge that is created when you add a lot of rain to those down leaves, but also helps to prevent some minor street flooding, because we are talking about a good drink of water here. From today all the way through Sunday, expecting close to an inch to maybe more than an inch and a half of moisture anticipated, and that's just through Sunday as more wet weather takes us well into next week. All right now everything is calm, quiet, cloudy, and dry. 44 degrees is where we currently reside. Those mid-40s found up and down the I-5 corridor, just the same out along the coastline, as the clouds, they are overhead, eventually transitioning into some patchy fog, very similar to what we saw about this time yesterday before that wet weather trend finds its way back in western Oregon and southwest Washington. But right now we've got a high pressure system situated just to the south and west of us. Typically we see a clockwise rotation, so that's grabbing all of this moisture and finally funneling it back up into western Oregon and southwest Washington. But we've got to wait until after about the midnight hour, so you've got a few more chances to maybe get out and about without the rain gear, as the high pressure system typically keeps us dry. We're going to be on the outskirts of the high, so that's why the wet weather trend is really going to start to ramp up for us, as our latest low pressure system and warm front help to keep things on the warmer side for us as early as tomorrow. And even though that cold front's going to be sweeping through the Pacific Northwest, really not expected to be impacting our temperatures, as high pressure and low pressure really kind of helps to create that funnel of an atmospheric river to push its way back into the Pacific Northwest. So that means we are prepared for the wet weather for the long haul. Starting as early as tomorrow morning, widespread wet weather potentials as the windshield wipers will be going at full blast. Now, tomorrow for your evening commute, you might be able to find a pocket here and there that is briefly dry before the next batch of wet weather returns. And then for Friday morning, those yellows and oranges, a good indication of the heaviest of downpours. But I want you to take note, there's very little in the form of snow falling over the high terrain at the Cascades. Of course, Mount Hood itself expected to pick up on that as our cold front swings its way through. So as far as the rain gauges go, at least through Sunday, filling up close to an inch for the I-5 corridor, more than 2 inches possible for the coastline. But looking at the bigger picture here across the Pacific Northwest, by Monday, some parts of western Washington could near almost 3.5 inches. So minor urban flooding is a very real potential over the next 7 days or so, as the warmer weather pushes snow elevation levels back up to 6,500 feet. So mountain pass travel should be smooth sailing over the next 48 hours. Good news is for the ski resorts around Mount Hood, we're talking maybe close to 3 to 6 inches. I think we could near almost a foot. But again, we're not getting that lower elevation snow that we still desperately need over the Cascades, as our snow deficit out towards Timberline Lodge still holds firm at about 25 inches. All right, tonight here in the Rose City, expecting to see that patchy fog once again develop, and those temperatures sliding back into the upper 30s. We'll start to pick up on the rain as early as about 3 o'clock in the morning. And then tomorrow for the western half of our state, upper 40s, much cooler out east. That's where a rain-snow mix is a possibility for the Oregon and Idaho border. 7-day forecast. Yeah, that's looking a lot more like December as far as the rain goes. Temperatures, though, reflecting that maybe early November, with highs into the mid to upper 50s. That's about 10 degrees above our average, where we should be hovering right around 49 degrees. So we'll take the rain, and I guess many of us are maybe happy about those warmer temperatures as well.
Absolutely. You know, I look at your bolo tie there, which I love, by the way.
Thank you.
And that reminds me of warmer temperatures. It should be like in Texas or something.
Yeah.
You know?
It feels like a Texas winter.
Oh my gosh, that's true, because it is going to feel warm-ish, you know.
Ish,
almost
yes.
60 degrees is different.
Wild.
All right.
All right, thanks a lot,
Wild
Josh.
West.
Wild West for sure. Thanks, Josh.